Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my roundup video. These are all the products, the new products that I've personally tried in the past couple of months, and I wore them, tested them, and now I kind of have my final thoughts on the products. I am trying to pick the products that maybe I haven't talked about too much. This video may be very long, so bear with me. Hopefully I'm not missing a ton, but there's a lot of lip products right now on the table. Grab yourself something to eat, to drink, relax, and enjoy the video. I'm gonna start with the base, and I've tried this from Freck Beauty. This is their Rich Moisturizer Serum. It comes in a very cheap packaging. The price is quite high for this. It is $38 and it's supposed to be a gripping primer but very moisturizing. So when I first tried it, I wasn't sure about it. I didn't feel like it did a ton, but the more I reach for this, I do feel like it helped my makeup stay in place better. It's almost like the foundation was staying on my skin more. It didn't do much for pore filling. It moisturized, it felt nice, but I do think I like it. I don't necessarily think maybe it's worth the money, but I feel like this is one of those products that maybe I need to try it even more. I've reached for it, I don't think 10 times, but you know, 5 to 10 times around there. Sometimes I would forget that I have it, but when I reached for it, I did feel like my foundation looked nice throughout the day. So that's not a very conclusive final thoughts on those, but I do enjoy it. Again, the price for the packaging, I don't think it's great. For the past few months, I've tried these from DRMTLGY. This is their SPF 46 Tinted Moisturizer and then the #1 primer. So the primer is a very like silicone-y, pore-filling primer, and I do like this. I feel like it really smoothed out my pores. It maybe felt a little bit more silicone-y than I like. Yeah, it has that feel. Like for example, my Tom Ford primer, it still does that job, but it doesn't feel that slippery almost. It dries down more like a powder. This is more of a traditional pore filling primer. I do like it. I think the makeup goes on top really nice, and I've been reaching for this. It still doesn't beat my Tom Ford. But this is their Tinted Moisturizer. I think I spoke in other videos. I think this is fabulous. It has the tiniest bit of tint, but I wouldn't even consider that when purchasing because it really won't cover much of anything. But it does give a really beautiful shine to the face, but it's not as intense as the Supergoop one. Like I'll show you here. It's very moisturizing. It's not sticky at all. Can you see that? It just gives such a beautiful finish to the skin. I wear this alone. It's moisturizing. I do wear it under foundations as well, but I tend to reach for this when I want nothing else on my skin, just maybe a concealer, because it has such a beautiful finish that I feel like it's almost wasted under foundation, but I've been loving this. I have a setting spray that I want to include in the primer section just to kind of get it out of the way so I won't forget. This is the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse. I love this. I feel like, I wouldn't say it mattifies my skin, but it does blur a little bit of my makeup when I put this on. I hate the nozzle. I feel like it's such a bad nozzle. I don't know, it sprays. Yeah, I can feel little dots everywhere, but it's not that smooth spray. However, I do like the way this makes my makeup last throughout the day, the way it almost blurs everything. It's not a moisturizing one, so don't expect something like the Iconic London or something that will melt your makeup into your skin. This is more of a blurring, set your makeup. And I do like it. Now I will skip the foundation section of this video just because I've already done a ranking and a very in-depth video where I show you all the foundations that I've tried lately and my thoughts and rank them and put them on my skin. So I will link that video down below if you're interested in that, but we'll skip over that because that would be very repetitive of me. Moving on to concealers. Now I do want to do a ranking video for concealers, but I'll give you quickly my final thoughts on a few concealers I've tried lately. This is the Valentino concealer, and when I tested this out, it was not my favorite. It kind of broke up under my my eyes, and I don't know, it just did not work great for me. However, I loved the finish of this concealer. You can see right here just what a beautiful finish it has. This color that I have right now, it is LN3. It's just too light for me, as you can see. But I love the finish of this concealer, but I struggled to keep this in place and not separating. And honestly, most of the concealers, I struggle with that. Even the ones that everybody likes, I feel like I hate because it does that to me. So, you know, this concealer, I haven't been able to test it much just because it's a little light for me. And since it's more summertime, I've gotten more tan. This, I love the finish of it. I love the way it felt under the eyes, but it kind of separated throughout the day. And take that with a grain of salt, knowing that I do struggle with under eye concealers doing that. Even the best of the best that everybody loves, I tend to not like. I've also tested out the Tom Ford Stick Concealer. Now this one I love. It does not separate under my eyes, and it is a very luminous concealer, extremely blendable. It's right there. And I love pretty much everything about this concealer except the price. The price is ridiculous. I love that this doesn't crease under my eyes. It does have that emollient feel to it, and that luminosity, which makes me reach for this concealer when I'm doing more of a minimal makeup. It has medium coverage. It doesn't have full coverage. So I love this concealer for a more natural look. It's not full coverage where today I'm wearing a lot of eyeshadow. I feel like I need some coverage to, you know, balance the look. But I do really like this one. I think it is so good under the eyes, even all over the skin. And if you have more mature under eyes, or you struggle with dryness, I think this is really nice. If you are on the oily side, I would probably skip that one. The next concealer is this Givenchy Prisme Libre. This is in the shade N250, and I love this concealer. This to me is kind of like a concealer foundation all over mishmash. It does a little bit of everything. It's very serumy and light on the skin. And I would say that this has, again, like a medium buildable coverage, a luminosity to it, but don't expect full coverage out of this one. But the way this blends into the skin is so easy. This is a very easy concealer for me. When I don't know what to put on, I can reach for this and expect it to perform really well. Also, I like using this all over the face because, again, it does such a good job. It's not too intense. It's very blendable and it stays in place. I am loving this one. I didn't apply all of these, of course, on because I have in-depth reviews on pretty much everything that I'm going to share with you. So if you're interested in more details and how they look on, check those videos out. Now, a huge discovery has been these YSL high coverage Touche Éclat high cover radiant concealer. I have the shade 2 and 3. Loving this. Love. This is more of a radiant finish, medium coverage, even though this says that it's high coverage. It's higher than the regular Touche Éclat that's more of a highlighter. But the way this blends into the skin, can you even see it right there? No, because it's so blendable, so easy. It becomes like your skin under the eyes with just the slightest bit of radiance. I wear these by themselves. I wear them with more of a medium coverage foundation, light to medium. I don't wear a lot of full coverage foundations, so most concealers that will match kind of my foundation unless I really struggle with, you know, some spots or things like that. But this is such an underrated concealer. I think it is probably one of the better ones that I've tried lately, and absolutely favorite, worth the money. And then the last concealer is the one I'm wearing today, and this is the Natasha Denona concealer. You know, I've done a full day wear test on this one, and I kind of feel like my thoughts are the same. It's a nice concealer, but it's not my favorite. Like right now, the under eyes, I feel like they look fine, but there's something about it that is not my favorite. Initially, I thought that it was kind of drying, and I'm struggling with some dryness. I feel like that got a little bit better, but I'm still not in love with this concealer. I would definitely pick the YSL or the Givenchy or the Tom Ford over this one. It's not a bad concealer. It's just kind of maybe basic, and on my under eyes it can look a little bit more makeup-y, a little bit heavier than I like it. The coverage, again, it's like a medium buildable. I wouldn't say it's completely full coverage, but it has better coverage than some of the other ones. The color, this is, I think, the P3. I'm not sure about the whole coloring thing. I think they give you so many options. So I was expecting this to be much peachier than it actually is. And people were thinking maybe it's pink, but on the website, the P stands for peach. So this is just fine. Powders. I have a couple powders that I just want to briefly mention, even though these I've tried maybe a very long time ago. But this is the NARS Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder. So I've done I think a full day wear test on this one as well. And I love the compact, first of all. Is there anything more satisfying than this? I don't think so. But this powder, I have a need for it. Like, I like having it more for a touch-up powder or maybe a little bit of a coverage powder. I would just kind of go over this area and smooth that out. It has coverage to it, not full coverage. It's not like a foundation powder, but it does have more coverage than like a regular powder. But it's not my go-to for setting. It's more of a touch-up powder, kind of like the Westman Atelier is for me. It's a little heavier than I usually like, but for a very oily day or whenever I feel like I need my makeup to stay a long time, this is nice. But again, it's not one that I would recommend for everybody. It's just there for certain occasions. And then the other powder that I wanted to give you an update is this Chantecaille powder. This is in light medium, the Perfect Blur finishing powder. Now, I do like this one. I don't like it necessarily under the eyes, but I like it, again, like a finishing powder. I think it's really beautiful, kind of undetectable on the skin. It doesn't even pick that much up, but it's very flattering, very beautiful. I like to use this more as a buffing powder to kind of blend in the blush or the bronzer or just around the forehead. It gives a really nice soft blur effect without feeling heavy at all. So I do like this one. Does the Kosas do the same thing? Because I've been back on my Kosas powder. I feel like this is more refined than the Kosas. The Kosas is more, it can set under the eyes as well. It does a lot more. This is more of a specific powder for me, but I do enjoy it. Is it worth the money? Probably not. Yeah, it's very expensive. And even though the compact is nice, it's nothing fancy. It doesn't feel like it's worth $90. I don't even know how much this is, but yeah, I do enjoy it. Moving on to some bronzers. In the Sephora sale, I picked up another shade of the Makeup by Mario Enhancer. I'm kind of obsessed with this shade, light medium, and this one is the shade medium. It's a little bit warmer, and I do enjoy it quite a lot for summertime. It's right there. I mean, I love the formula already. I already put quite a big dent into this, but I'll swatch them side by side if you're curious how the colors compare. This is the light medium and medium. The light medium is more cool tone, and then the medium has more warmth, which I do like because I'm about to go to the beach and usually I tan quite a bit during the summer, and this will be perfect. Loving that. Another cream bronzer that I've tried is the new Tower 28. This is in the color Getty. They came out with new bronzers that don't have that shimmer in them, and this is really nice. More on the affordable side for Sephora. I think these are $20 and they're really nice. There's more pigment to them and not quite as glow as the Makeup by Mario. And I think these are gonna be loved by more people than the Makeup by Mario, just because it's more of a easy, like cream bronzer, and it reminds me quite a bit of the Tom Ford formula, the shade Illuminate. It's similar, not the same, but it reminds me of that one. So that's also really nice. I've also tried the new Pat McGrath bronzers. I have two colors, the Bronze Dawn and Nude Honey. Nude Honey is fine, but the Bronze Dawn, I love this color. On me, it looks so beautiful. It's almost like this shade was made for me. It has more of a warmth undertone. I think it's so pretty and it bronzes me up without making me look muddy, and it's very soft, very blendable. I have absolutely nothing negative to say about this one. And then the Haus Labs bronzers. This is the first time I've tried this. I bought one in the Sephora sale kind of on a whim. And wow, I was so surprised at how creamy and the texture. It feels like a extremely soft powder, slight cream. Wow, the formula is very unique. It feels almost like a gel when you rub your fingers together. And I like the color. This is the color 4. It's not the warmest. I feel like as I get tanner throughout the summer, I think I'm gonna need a darker shade. It's this one right here, because even now I feel like I need to build up this color quite a bit for it to be noticeable. But I love this formula. It's a very unique, and I'm glad I picked it up because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I never was attracted to it. I don't know why, but definitely worth at least swatch it to see how unique the formula is. And it blends in, it stays nice. It has a very natural finish. There's a slight luminosity to it, but again, it doesn't have any shimmer or anything like that. So bronzers, we did good with bronzers. Now blushes, I have tried so many blushes and I'm gonna try to be kind of quick with them. Let's start with the Haus Labs blush, because why not? I just talked about that. Look at this color. This is in the Watermelon Bliss. I have the fuchsia one as well, but this is the color for me. Look how intense that is. It's almost overwhelming. Even though you pick up so much and it feels like it's going to be so overwhelming, this is blendable. This, you know, if you want to make it, you can add just a little bit and it won't be quite as intimidating as I try to buff this out. I like this. The color does something to my cheeks. I feel like it just brightens me up. It reminds me of summer, and I don't wear this one often, but when I do, I try to pair it with very minimal makeup and just let that be the focus, because I really like the undertone. I don't think I have anything in my collection quite like this. The formula is nice. It's not the same, quite as gelée feel, as creamy as the bronzer. It's a little bit more like a true powder, but it's still nice and soft and blendable. I like this one. I honestly, the pink one, I didn't reach for that maybe once since I bought it, but this one on those occasions where I wanted a bright blush, I loved this one. I've also discovered the Valentino blush, and I have to say that this has quickly climbed up to one of my favorite blushes in my collection. I think there's something about this formula that is so creamy, so unique, and the color, like that color, it works so well on so many different skin tones. This is the number 2. It has a luminosity to it too, so many times when I wear this blush, I don't feel like I need a highlighter or anything like that. I'm loving this. I think it is such a stunning, stable blush. I do want to try some of the peachier colors, but right now I didn't pick one in the Sephora sale because I had already gathered way too many blushes, but truly this has been up there with my Gucci blushes. If not, I like this more. I feel like they're both beautiful. This has a little bit, maybe more pigment and a little bit more luminosity to it than the Gucci ones, but they're both fabulous formula. Don't love the packaging, but it is what it is. Also, Armani came out with new blushes. I have been loving two of the colors, the color 50 and 60. And you guys know, because I've talked about this already in some of my favorite videos, I love this color 60. There's something about it that looks so good on so many different skin tones. I've seen multiple reviews, seen so many people wearing this, and it's such a unique, beautiful color. And then this one that has some sheen in it, it's kind of like the NARS Orgasm, just more softer and a little bit more elegant. It's a very, very elegant on the skin. I mainly use this as kind of like a blush topper, mostly now that I'm more tan, but I do think that the formulas are really nice, really silky. I like it, but it doesn't beat my Gucci and it doesn't beat my Valentino. So, you know, if you're looking for the perfect blush formula that's powder, maybe look into Gucci or Valentino, but they are beautiful. That, I mean, they're soft, they're blendable, there's a blurring effect to them, and I do like those colors a lot. I have spoken about the Rare Beauty blushes many times, but this color Worthy, Virtue, I was confused a little bit. It's my favorite. Such a good color. I've shown it to you guys and applied it in so many different videos. Why not one last swatch? Such a good formula. I am loving this. Nothing more to say. You know the formula, you know how they apply, how they wear, and it's just those colors are really good. Worthy is also a beautiful color. I have tried some Chanel blushes as well, and I have these two right here. This is their face palette, and I tried this maybe like 2-3 months ago, and I love it. I know this has so many mixed reviews, and I understand it. This Chanel formula is very soft. It's a product that you need to build up on the skin, but I think that's why I love it so much. To me, it's so elegant, so easy to apply, and you can't really mess this up. Even this dark shade, I can build that color and it'll have a soft color, and then I can build it up stronger and stronger. My favorite obviously is this one. I mean, I flattened this out. That's how much I wore it. It looks very brown in here, but I wear it as a blush. It's this one right here. It has just some warmth to it, where on me it's not working quite as a bronzer, but more as a very nude blush. The highlighter also is beautiful. So stunning. It's elegant but impactful, and again, all of these shades work so well for me. I think for, what was this, $90, it's very much worth it for Chanel, and you're getting 4 big blushes or highlighter. But I also tried this one from Chanel. Again, I'm not going to stay here long because I used it in so many videos and I talked about it so much. If I could choose between this one and this, I would choose this one because it's just so unique and limited edition. I don't even know if they still have it. It comes in and out of stock, but stunning. It's kind of like a blush highlighter in one, but it's so refined and the color is so beautiful that I think it's a very unique product in probably everybody's collection, and I'm loving that. I do have a couple highlighters. I've tried this Cali Ray highlighter, and you know, I hate this packaging so much, and it all fell. Like all of it fell. Oh no. I should grab my phone so you can see what's happening here, but I can't move. No, it's like completely broken. Okay, so we have this. Let's try to mush it in there. I was kind of expecting this to happen because the formula is so creamy that, I don't know, I was expecting this to break. But I will mash it and press it back down whenever I got more time. But right now, like, I'll show you just how easy it is to push this down just because of the formula is so almost cream-like. Now, besides the fact that it shattered everywhere, this is a very, again, unique formula, very creamy and intense. This highlighter is so intense. I really do think that it's so intense that you kind of have to be careful with this. However, I mean, you guys saw that it broke, but I think it broke because it's such a creamy formula that even when I was rubbing my brush on it, which is a softer brush like this, right, you could see the product almost moving around. So I like the way this looks on the skin. I think it's unique. I don't like the packaging, and obviously it broke, so that's a huge no-no. But I do like the way this looks on the skin. Would I repurchase this? I think because of the packaging, I would not, but I do like the formula, and it's such an intense highlighter that, you know, you kind of have to like that, but it is a very unique formula that I think it's really pretty. One last highlighter is this Refi, and I would say out of all the highlighters that I've been using, this is the one I've used the most. It's a cream highlighter, and it comes in just one shade, which is this one right here. I think it's Topaz. But this will make your cheek wet, and you know, there's no glitter in it. There's just a beautiful wet looking skin. But I do think that you have to be careful with this. I don't think you should wear it over really heavy makeup. I wear this for a more kind of natural, glossy look to my skin. I don't wear this with a ton of makeup on because I think you can pick up the product because it has such a liquid emollient feel, and I don't think it sets down completely. You will always have just the slightest tackiness to it. It does not bother me at all. I don't find like my hair gets stuck in my cheek, but to me, I love these kinds of products, and I'll put up with a little bit of tackiness for the natural and glowy effect. Oh, also, if you go to the beach or the pool, oh, this on your cheeks would look fabulous. I have two eyeshadow palettes that I've tried lately, and I'm going to talk about this one real quick because I feel like this is discontinued. You can still find it on the NARS website. Love this so much. I was so impressed with the formula. You can see that it's been loved, you know. I've used this one so much. I think this color right here is very beautiful. The mattes blend in really well. Just everything about this palette, it's pretty. It's kind of a basic palette, but it's a glam basic palette, and I feel like I got really pretty looks out of these without having any issue. They stay on really well. I like the packaging, so this is really pretty. And then the other eyeshadow palette I've tried is this one from Chanel. This is in the shade 68. This, with Chanel eyeshadows, I struggle recommending them just because they're so expensive and you get such little product. I do find this more of a unique eyeshadow palette. Like today I used this one and this one in my crease and then put something else on top of it. Obviously it's smoky, but I do like this palette, and I've reached for it more than I thought I would. I still don't believe that it's worth the money, but I do think it's more unique for Chanel. And just overall, the Chanel quads are more softer, a little bit more, I want to say, refined than other eyeshadows. So you're not going to get this super intense color, even this color, which I think it's stunning. See how soft it is, and even when you put it on your eyelid, there's just an elegance to it. I'm trying to not put it over the blush, but there's an elegance to it that I think it's really pretty. So I enjoy this, but I don't think this is going to become my go-to palette. I think in the summer it's really pretty. I will talk real quick about this Refi brow gel. I've been reaching for this every single day almost. It's not my favorite. Let's start there. It has this ball that hurts. It's a really intense ball. I do like the way it sets my brows, and I do like that it doesn't add too much color. So overall, I do enjoy it, but I don't think it's my favorite because of the applicator. It gives more of a kind of lived-in brow feel that looks not too done up, which I like. I have a lot of brow, so if I put a gel product that's colored, that has a lot of pigment and fibers and all these things, even though I think this one is supposed to have, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to have fiber, but it's so soft and pretty. So I'd rather go with this and then put a little bit of a pencil and be done with my brows, rather than one that's super intense and then I have to take away. But I don't know, I'm mixed with this one just because of the applicator. I tried an eyeliner. This is the Sephora eyeliner, 12-hour colorful, and I like this one. This is in the color Tiramisu, and it's nice, blendable. Like, I truly have no negative thing to say about this. Now, this won't replace my Victoria Beckham. The Victoria Beckham stays in my waterline so much better. It's easier to blend. I like that one better, but I do think that if you're on a budget, and those are so expensive, this is a really good one. One of the better ones that I've tried at Sephora. So it's a nice one. Now let's move on to some lip products, because we have quite a bit. The ones I'm gonna quickly talk about are these Fenty. These are the lip cream. I've used these so much. I love all the colors that I have, except the really deep one that just doesn't work for my skin tone. But my favorite is definitely the one that I don't have here, because it's probably in my purse. It's the lightest one, Sweethearts, I think. Really beautiful color that I find myself reaching for quite a bit. I also like Riri. I like the MVP. It's a beautiful red color that when I wore it, I had so many compliments. I love the formula. It's like definitely a creamy, heavier almost formula. It does transfer, but overall, in my opinion, it stays really well on. Then we tried the Makeup by Mario little lip creams as well. These have not the best reviews, and I love them. I love them so much. I think most of the reviews are based on how little you get, and that is such a shame. Like, give us a little bit more. It's not like you're not making a fortune, but I still love them. I use them so much. I also heard that people say that this moves outside their lips or emphasizes the lip line. That never happened to me at all, and I truly have reached for these all the time. They're just so easy to put on. Love them. I don't even know how many colors I have. 4 or 5. I'll swatch the ones I have here. I think the colors are so beautiful. This one, which is I think the nude one, is probably my go-to. And then I really like this other one that's the coral, hot pink. This one right here. This almost leaves like a soft stain on my lips, but I really like these. I can see why people maybe don't give it such good reviews, just because they're expensive for a little product, but I've never experienced any of the issues that other people complain about. So these are a huge yes for me. Now I have also tried the Rare Beauty lip oils. These, I think these are more of a hit or miss in my opinion than the Makeup by Mario ones, just because these are not a lip oil, they're a stain. And the issue I have with these that I also mentioned in my video is that they all kind of end up looking very similar on the lips. I've worn them all individual colors. I have 4, one's missing. I don't know where it is, but my favorite is the color Delight for sure. I think it is such a beautiful color, and when it sets down, it's just nice. I heard that some people said that they dry out their lips. I don't find that personally, but I don't find these to be very moisturizing. They go on more as an oil, and maybe that's why they claim that it is more of a moisturizing formula, but I don't think it's moisturizing. I just think it's a stain that has the oily effect on top, and that goes away quickly. I do like these. I've reached for them, maybe not as much as the Makeup by Mario, but when I need color to my lips, maybe minimal makeup, I do enjoy reaching for something like this because it gives me that brightness that I want. But I think one shade. You just need one shade. Find one that works well for you, and that should be enough. Huda also came out with these lip stains. I am trying to find the pinkier one. I wore it, so it's probably in my purse. But these are actually the two colors I like better than that rosy pink one, the Coral Kiss and the Berry Kiss. So these are straight up lip stains. They feel more almost powdery, like a true lip stain. You kind of wipe that off and you're left with a stain. And with all lip stains in general, I feel like they all have the same issue in my opinion. They all turn a little bit too bright, or the color never stays the same, which I do understand, because in order for it to stay, they have to add these certain pigments. So I don't mind that, but I just want you guys to know that when it comes to lip stains, I personally haven't found a good nude lip stain, right? Like I've never been able to find that. They all turn a little bit too bright on me. I do love the color Coral Kiss. Such a beautiful color. And out of all the other stains is one that maybe looks a little bit more natural on me. Like it gives me that beautiful corally lip product. I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit and then wipe it off. But I do like to wear this one with a lip liner. It's kind of cool. And the berry shade, it gives me that berry, but it's at least it's not quite that pinky color. The rosy pink, I've noticed wearing it alone for a few days, it gives me that almost neon-y pink feel, and I don't love that as much as a nice beautiful berry shade. Let me swatch it under here so you guys can see. I do like these. I want to say I like these more than the Rare Beauty. I think they're less complicated. The Rare Beauty, it's like, oh, is this an oil? Is this a tint? Is this a stain? Like you don't really know. But to me, these are a stain, and this is how you put it on. You wipe it off, and then you have it all day. Now, they both, the Rare Beauty and the Huda, don't last on me all day. Certain colors from Rare Beauty do last a little longer, but I would say they last half a day. And then if I want for the pigment to be just as intense, I'll just reapply halfway through the day. But the more you apply, the more the lip stain will last longer. So if I feel like I need a stain all day, I will apply once, let it sit, wipe it off, and then apply another layer, wipe it off. And so that way it builds up the color and the stain stays so much longer. However, none of these compare to the Fenty Popsicles. Those are so much more intense, the stains, and they will stay on my personal lips till next day. So, okay, let's wipe this off so you can kind of see the color. See how beautiful that like corally shade is? And this berry, I mean, you have to kind of think it on my lips, but I like these shades. I think they're more kind of wearable. So again, I don't think that out of the Rare Beauty or these, just pick one and that's it. You truly don't need more colors. Now, we also have these Merit Gelée lip products. These were sent to me, and I don't know what it is with all these stains, because I feel like these also stain my lips, and they turn a little bit more of that neon-y. I love, love, love the feel of this. Such a unique gel formula. I have two colors here. I'm doing Jeté, and then the other one was Les Yeux. I think that this formula is so unique and innovative. So Jeté and Les Yeux. You can see that one's brighter, but I do like the Jeté. Maybe I should put this on. It'll turn my lips pink, but oh, I just love the formula. I think it's so beautiful. Unlike the Rare Beauty or the other ones, this is very comfortable. However, be mindful that it has that tendency to turn your lips. Like for example, it's a little bit more pink than it looks here, but I love this. I think this is a very interesting formula that if you're interested, go ahead and try them. I almost forgot to talk about one of the best discovery this year, and that is these Armani Bronzing Glow Liquid Bronzer Drops. I am in love. I have 90 and 100. I've done a reel with this. I've done a dedicated video, and it seems like a lot of people were so interested in this. I haven't found a more blendable, a more soft bronzer that's cream powder or liquid probably in my entire life. This is such a beautiful product. I've worn it almost every day since I bought it, and I also mixed it in with my foundation to kind of make it darker, or I put it under foundation to sculpt, or on top. I mean, I used this in so many ways. I even once put it in my cream for my legs because I was a little pale, and it matched my arms. They were tan. Such a unique serum formula that you can do so many things with it. I'm glad I have both colors. I've reached for 90 more for a contour effect, and then for bronzing I reach for 100. I can see myself going through these. Now, I always thought that maybe the packaging is absolutely awful and it's going to make a big mess, but somehow they made this pipette so good, because I have not gotten any mess right here, and I was expecting that. I was expecting these to be a big old mess, and I don't even have to be careful putting these back in, just because, I don't know, it's almost scraping the sides as it goes down inside. Does that make sense? Probably not, but I have not had no issues with the application and the mess of the product, which that was one of my negative things about this, that, oh, I bet I'm going to make a big old mess, but I have not. It is perfection. I want a foundation like this. I think they do have one, or they used to have one, the Maestro. I've never tried that one, but if it's anything like this formula, I must try this. I need blushes in this formula. I need everything in this formula. Next, we have this Dior Addict. I mean, I don't really need to talk about this one because I love the formula. I have other colors in this. This color is really pretty, the 030, and it is a little bit more of a corally pink color right there. I think it's really pretty on its own. I don't love combining this with other products like a lip liner. I feel like it's losing its prettiness. If I combine it with like a lip liner like this Tower 28 and Fill Me In, because they're pretty much, this is pretty much like my lip color, and just put this over, but I like this on its own. Then we have the Tom Ford liquid lipsticks. I've talked about this in, I think, 2 of my favorites videos. I absolutely love them. I think they are the softest, most undetectable on the lips, and you don't feel them on liquid lipsticks. They're beautiful, very expensive, but to me they're worth it. Next, we have another Gucci product. I don't even know the name of this. It's like their lip cream moisturizing thing. This is in Lynette Stone. Really, really beautiful. It kind of reminds me a lot of, it's right there, of the Victoria Beckham lipsticks. These ones right here, I've loved these since they came out. It kind of reminds me of this, although the Gucci is a little bit more of a balm. Yeah, the Gucci's right here, and then this is the Victoria Beckham. The Victoria Beckham has a little bit more pigment, and the Gucci has a little bit more moisture and almost like a treatment with pigment to it. But they're nice, very expensive, absolutely not worth the money. But these, you know, these are kind of similar idea. Now I have one more product to talk about, and that is this Clé de Peau lip cream. This one, you know, I was so excited to try, and I do like it. However, I have found maybe a little bit, not drying, but the product, it's a little bit hard for me to put an even layer on. I think because it's such a whipped formula that there's not enough product on the applicator. Yeah, I have to kind of go in, and it kind of feels like, oh, it's drying out, or there's not enough product. But it still has product in there. It's just the formula is more of that whipped, where you kind of have to maybe work with it a little bit. I like it. I like the effect. I think the colors are beautiful. So don't get me wrong on like the formula. It's just sometimes it feels like, wait, it feels almost empty in there, but it's not. It's just like the formula. The color is beautiful. This is the 111. And this is the matte formula. They have a shiny formula. I don't think it's worth the money. This is $50. I think it's way overpriced. But I do like the way this feels on the lips. It's kind of reminds me of the Fenty, the idea. The Fenty's much thicker when you apply it. This one, it's a little lighter and more, even more whipped and softer on the lips. So I do like it. However, I had one instance when I had so much dryness around my lips. I was sick a little bit, and this definitely did not work when I had really dry lips. But most of the time it worked, and I like it. It's pretty, it's just not worth the money. Wow, I have talked so much. And guys, I didn't even include everything that I've tried in the past 2-3 months. It's just more the ones that maybe I didn't give you an update on. But this has been fun for me. It's also helping me gather my thoughts on the product. It's like forcing me to think of like, what did you really like? What didn't you like? What would you recommend? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to do these kinds of video every 3 months. That way I can give you a full update on the products that I've tried. Of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I would love to hear your thoughts down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.